Hello and welcome in the lecture series of moment of inertia of different bodies around different axes. So far we have completed the derivation of moment of inertia of bodies like plane lamina, circular ring and a straight bar, thin bar and rectangular solid bar. In this video I am offering to you the moment of inertia of circular disc in different kind of rotation of them. First case would be like if you rotate the circular disc around an axis which is normally passing through the center of the circular disc, like from the center of mass, if the axis passes through the center of mass. And second case would be taken as the moment of inertia of the same disc around an axis along the diameter of the disc. And third case would be the axis which is the tangent of the disc. So here in this video we are deriving the moment of inertia of circular disc in three cases. First would be the moment of inertia of circular disc around such an axis which passes through the center of the disc normally, and second case would be the moment of inertia of the disc around an axis which is along to the diameter of the disc. And the third case could be the moment of inertia of the same disc around the tangent of the disc. So in all the three cases we can assume that the disc is rotating around those particular axes. In the first case we are having moment of inertia of a circular disc around axis passing through center. Here this is the case about we are talking. So you can see the circular disc. I think you are familiar with the circular disc. If you do not, then you can see this is a example of a circular disc. Even this is a circular disc. So the difference between the circular ring and circular disc is that the whole area of the circular disc is covered with some material. The particular difference between the circular ring and circular disc is that in the circular ring the area enclosed by the circumference is hollow, but in the circular disc the hollow area is just have some matter. So this is a circular disc. Three cases will be the axis which passing through the center of the disc like this, and B will assume that this disc is rotating like this, anti-clockwise or clockwise, and even what you like. Second case would be the moment of inertia of the same disc around the axis which is along to the diameter. So in this case the disc may be regarded as rotating like this. And the third case would be the moment of inertia of the same disc around the tangent. So this is a tangent. Now the x is like the tangent of the disc, and in this case the disc may be regarded as rotating around in this situation. So one by one we are considering the three cases. In the first case, in order to find the moment of inertia of the disc in the first case, I can assume that this whole disc is comprised with infinite number of such circular rings. Okay, so I am assuming that this complete disc is made up by such circular rings which can be made from here to up to complete r distance of the disc. Means that if this is a disc, this is the center, then I can assume that this circular part is a circular ring is a part of the disc, and another circular part is also and the circular part is a part of the disk, and a circular ring is also part of this. In the same way, if I take all such type of rings from 0 radius to up to capital R distance, complete radius of the disk, then I can say that I am taking the complete matter of the disk. And whenever the disk is rotated around the axis, simply all the circular rings will also rotated. So if I take the moment of inertia of the one disk around the circular axis, around this axis, and if I integrate the moment of inertia of such circular rings around the particular axis from limit 0 to r, then I will take and I will achieve the moment of inertia of the complete disk around that particular axis. In this video, I am doing the same. So, for the convenient, I have assumed that this is the circular ring having radius r. This radius is from here, and the width of the circular ring is dr. Then what should be the area of the circular ring? It is nothing but the length of circumference multiplied with the width. This gives me the area of this circular ring. If I am interested to find the mass of the circular ring, then I would like to multiply this value with sigma. Sigma is nothing but the mass density per area. So the mass of this particular ring is area multiplied by the mass per unit area. Mass per unit area can be calculated by this formula. So whenever I see m, then I can put at that place sigma a, or it's vice versa. Whenever I see sigma, I can put m over a, right? So this quantity gives me the mass of the circular ring. The moment of inertia of the circular ring around that particular axis would be the mass multiplied by the square of the radius. As we have derived this formula in the last video, the moment of inertia of any circular ring around the axis passes through its center is nothing but mass multiplied by the square of the radius, mr square. So here I have taken the same moment of inertia of circular ring around the axis which passes through the center is mass multiplied by the square of its radius. And the mass which I have calculated as 2 pi r dr times of sigma multiplied by r square gives me the moment of inertia of this particular ring. So this is the moment of inertia of this one ring. Total moment of inertia of the disk around axis which we are assuming passes through its center would be the integration of such moment of inertia of all such rings around the particular axis from 0 to r. So I have taken the limit from 0 to r and the moment of inertia of one ring, that particular one ring, and this is nothing but 2 pi r dr sigma r square. In this expression, 2 pi and sigma is a constant, 0 to r cube dr. After solving this, I get 2 pi sigma. This is r raised to power 4 over 4, 0 to r. If I take the limit, then I will get r raised to power 4 divided by 4 minus 0 raised to power 4 over 4 gives me 0. So this is the required fraction what I get, and this is 2 pi r raised to power 4 over 4 times of sigma. 2 is cancelled by 4 by 1 by 2 times, and here you can see I have pi r square times of sigma multiplied by r square. I have break the fourth power into 2 power into 2 times. R square and I square gives me the same result. So from here you can see that this is the area of the disk pi r square, circular disk. Area of the circular disk is pi r square times of mass density. So area multiplied by the mass density gives me the total mass. So this factor is the total mass, and sorry, here 2 is also appearing. So mr square divided by 2 gives me the total moment of inertia of the disk around that particular axis. So the formula is 1 by 2 total mass of the disk multiplied by r square, radius square. This is about the moment of inertia of our first case. Let's forward to find the moment of inertia of the particular disk around the axis passing along diameter. This is our second case. Okay, so in that case the axis would be like this. It must pass through the center because the diameter passes through the center. If I am interested to rotate this circular disk in this direction, anti-clockwise direction, then the diagram would be like this. And moment of inertia in this case of the circular disk can be calculated with the help of the theorem of perpendicular axis. How? You can see the moment of inertia of this disk around this axis is nothing but, okay, I am writing here, I around this axis of this particular ring would be the moment of inertias. Okay, I am taking the moment of inertia of this particular disk around the diameter. Okay, so around the diameter you can assume that all the diameters, I am taking 2 diameters of the circular disk. By the symmetry you can easily understand the moment of inertia of the disk around any one diameter will be the same, because around any diameter whatever the mass of the disk will be rotated will give the same effect when you rotate the disk around any other diameter. So according to the theorem of perpendicular axis, the moment of inertia, okay, you can see that if I take this diameter, then both the diameter are perpendicular, okay, and in the first case the axis which passes through from the center of the disk would be also perpendicular to both the diameters. And what does the perpendicular axis say? The moment of inertia of a lamina type of body, this is an example of lamina, disk is an example of lamina, is the moment of inertia of the disk, which is that according to perpendicular axis will be the sum of the moment of inertia of the disk around 2 mutually perpendicular axes which also passes through the perpendicular axis. So the moment of inertia around this axis would be the moment of inertia of this around 2 diameters. Okay, so moment of inertia around the center, we have calculated this value in the first case, but we are taking the same for regarded IC equals moment of inertia of the disk around 1 diameter. Let's say this is 1 diameter plus and the diameter. This axis and this axis are perpendicular axis. So this is 2 diameter. This is again ID, because the moment of inertia around any diameter is the same. From here you can see that 2ID equals to IC, and IC is nothing but this was 1 by 2 mr square. So ID becomes 1 by 4 mr square and ID is the moment of inertia of the disk around the diameter. So around any diameter, the moment of inertia of the disk can be calculated by using the theorem of perpendicular axis. This is the second case. If we are forwarding towards the third case, in which this disk would be regarded as rotating around this axis, which is nothing but the tangent of this circular disk, and we are rotating like in this direction, like that. Then in order to find, okay, this is case third, along tangent. So in order to find the mi in this case, I will use the theorem of parallel axis, because this is the axis which is parallel to any diameter axis of the circular disk. So what the parallel axis says, that the moment of inertia around any particular axis, the moment of inertia of a thing around any particular axis equals to the moment of inertia of that particular body around an axis passes through the center of mass plus the mass multiplied by the distance square between the axes. So I would be ICM and plus mass multiplied by the distance between the axes. So this axis is nothing but the diameter axis, and the moment of inertia around this axis was, what was that? That was, we have calculated in the last case, that was 1 by 4 mr square plus m times of square of distance between the axes, perpendicular distance. And what is this distance? This is perpendicular distance, this is radius of the disk. So I am taking the square of the radius of the disk because it is also a distance between the axes. So here mr square, and 1 by 4th plus 1 part gives me 5th of 4th mr square. This is the moment of inertia of the disk around the axis, which is nothing but the tangent of the disk.